What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, it's an exciting day, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very exciting day. The reason it is such a gosh darned exciting day is because I believe we are starting our daily reveal cycle of new Digimon cards. Battle of Omega is coming soon, and actually we do now have a good look at the booster pack artwork. Was shared officially on the Twitter this morning, so yay! And it seems to be this is day one of the daily reveals. We've got a new Agumon and a new Greymon to talk about, and by now you probably know because we've been doing this for since the game came into existence. We are going to be sharing all of those reveals, and not just sharing them, but really analysing them, digging into them on this particular channel. It's kind of what we do, ladies and gentlemen, and I ain't getting bored of it anytime soon. Seriously, this game is awesome. So do make sure you're subscribed to it just so that you can, join in on these as we go. So we've got a new Agumon, we've got a new Greymon, and if you like Omegamon, I have got wonderful, wonderful news. Now, translations here, we've kind of pieced them together on Facebook. Shout out to Jay Sen, who did share the Trinity Portal post over in the Facebook group, and Giovanni Vallerini, and that's basically where we got the translations from. So starting off with Agumon, then we got a free cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2,000 power. All fairly nice and standard, honestly, about what we would expect. But of course, the 2,000 power does tell us we should be expecting a fairly nice skill. Do we have a fairly nice skill? Yeah, we really do have a nice skill. When you play it, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon with Greymon in its name and 1 Digimon with Omegamon in its name to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Just as a side note here, we know from previous official rulings that you don't have to hit both. You can get a Digimon with Greymon in its name, you can get a Digimon with Omegamon in its name, or you can get one of each. It really doesn't matter, because obviously the chance of hitting them both in the top 3 cards of your deck are fairly slim. Now, I did check this over in the Facebook group, and a big thank you to the lovely Ulysses Garcia, who did confirm this for us. It is not a Greymon and an Omegamon. It is a Digimon with Greymon and a Digimon with Omegamon in its name. Now, this is really important, of course, because, if we go to Omegamon, yeah, obviously, or Omnimon as it is over here, sure, we've got that really good Omnimon, the one we really like, and is clearing up at the moment. But we've also got Omnimon Ultra S, which is going to be coming in Booster 1.5, come out in BT3 over in Japan. So it's really important that it can grab either of those. Yes, Omnimon is clearing up in our format at the moment. It's not quite so good over in Japan, but Omnimon Ultra S is doing really well over in Japan. These are 2 absolutely powerhouse cards. So being able to search them is really good. Remember that if you go ahead and just grab, say, a Greymon, but put this to the bottom of your deck, the Omegamon, the Omnimon, that's going to be a problem because cards on the bottom of your deck basically don't come back, until right to the end of the game when it's too late. So being able to grab both of them is awesome. As for the Digimon with Greymon in its name, this is awesome. Because you can get yourself a Greymon, or you can get yourself a Metal Greymon, or you can get yourself a War Greymon, and that is basically going to put you all the way up. No, it's not going to get you a level 4, 5, 6, and 7, but it could legitimately get you a 4, 5, or 6, and a 7. This is really good. And if you're playing an Omnimon deck, if you're playing a red Omnimon deck, this has got to be your go-to card now. This has got to be your go-to level 3. I'm not saying there aren't other really nice level 3s out there, and I know it's a free cost to play normally, not a 2, but you're unlikely to be attacking with it, And it's not expensive. It's not terribly cheap, but it's not expensive. It's still free to Digivolve. And yeah, sure, there are other level 3s out there that have inheritable skills, but I don't care. Because any inheritable skill you get is not going to be as good as the extra consistency you gain from potentially getting yourself an extra 2 cards. I adore this. I think this is fantastic. I'm not saying every Omnimon deck is definitely going to put this in immediately as a 4 of, but when I look at my own Omnimon decks and I start thinking about the level 3s that I'm putting in, you better believe this is going into that deck. I mean, if we look at the kind of Agumon that we're currently seeing at the moment, we've got the Agumon that just gives you an extra 1,000 power from the starter deck, same stats, and yeah, I know extra 1,000 power is good, but I'd rather have the extra consistency. And we've got that promo Agumon, and we like the promo Agumon, which gives you an extra 2,000 power, but it only gives you an extra 2,000 power if you've got Greymon in your name. And there's a decent chance that you're not going to have Greymon in your name, especially after you've Digivolved up into Omegamon. Yeah, I think this is awesome. But we've then got a Greymon that we can have a little bit of a look at as well. And this Greymon be good, ladies and gentlemen. This Greymon be good. Now, starting off with the stats, we've got a 5 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 5,000 power. So, honestly, yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. I mean, the Greymon from the starter deck sees a bunch of play at the moment in Omegamon decks. And this has got an extra 1,000 power over that one. So, straight off the bat, we're kind of liking what we're seeing. We've then got a skill whereby when you Digivolve from Agumon, you gain a memory. So as long as you're playing an Agumon heavy deck, you should effectively be playing 1 to Digivolve, and we've seen a bunch of level 4s that can Digivolve for 1 memory. But that doesn't really matter. The point is, this is and we'll get there in a second, particularly useful level 4, which can Digivolve for 1 memory. Yeah, sure, Dark Tyrannomon can Digivolve for 1 memory, but Dark Tyrannomon is a vanilla card. 6,000 power, but as I explained in a bunch of videos, I'm not particularly impressed by the 6,000 power. It's still power low enough that you can't take out many resting Digimon, and you should expect to be deleted when you attack the security, so hard to get terribly excited about it. Sure, you're probably not only playing Agumon as your level 3s. I mean, if we look at the moment in red decks, an awful lot of decks are playing cards like Beamon, just because it's a 2 cost to play normally, and you're going to see this. A bunch of people are going to play cards that are a 2 cost to play normally, and that's fine. But if you can Digivolve from Agumon, you're saving a memory, and that sounds pretty gosh darn good to me. But that's not the only skill we've got here. If this Digimon has Greymon or Omegamon in its name, this Digimon gains 2,000 power. Oh. So, when I said that if you like Omegamon, you're going to be happy, yeah, I really meant that. This is genuinely, like, explicit Omegamon help. It's not like, oh, if you squint, you can really see a use for these cards in an Omegamon deck. This is these cards are literally written as, hey, look, they're going to work in Omegamon decks. Yay! Now, having said that, it's called, the set is called The Battle of Omega, and it's got Omnimon Omegamon on the artwork of the booster pack, so maybe could have seen this coming. And I really like this. Now, of course, there is an argument here where you can go, well, hang on a second. If I combine that with a promo Agumon, I'm getting an extra 4,000 power for any Digimon with Greymon in its name. So if I've got like a War Greymon, and I've got the Agumon, and then I've got this Greymon, I'm up to 4,000 power. Incidentally, absolutely a fair point to make. It's clearly a really good point, and it's clearly something that can absolutely, it's going to make a big difference, I think is fair to say. It's going to make a huge difference. You know, War Greymon is going to go from like an 11,000 power to a 15,000 power, which puts it on a par with Omnimon if you're not boosting the power up. So this is an argument against playing the Agumon I just showed you. Because if you want to be going Greymon, Metal Greymon, War Greymon, as a lot of people are going to want to, then combining the promo Agumon with this and getting an extra 4,000 power, that is a lot to get in one go. But even if you're only playing this and you get up to Omnimon, you got an extra 2,000 power. And the extra 2,000 power makes a huge difference. Because let's say you're in a mirror match, your opponent's Omegamon is resting, you get to take them out while surviving. Like, Omnimon can take out Omnimon. They've both got 15,000 power. But if you're up to 17,000 power, you can take them out while surviving. That's a cool thing. And certainly in a mirror match, and I know sometimes when Omegamon comes out, the game ends, but if Omegamon comes out early in the mirror match, this is going to be the equalizer. This is going to be the thing that helps you to sort things out. Yes, I know you can always play a Gaia Force, but Gaia Force ain't cheap, ladies and gentlemen. Not cheap at all. And this is going to be a Digimon that you can keep rolling with. So what we've got here are two cards that really explicitly help Omegamon decks. And honestly, I am all in favour. But I don't think you need to be playing them in Omegamon decks. Even if you're playing a Greymon deck, or War Greymon deck, call it what you will, this Agumon's still going to get you an extra card, which puts it on a level with, for instance, Palmon. And Palmon is seeing plenty of playing green at the moment. And the Greymon is still going to give you a whole bunch of extra power. And like I've said, especially when you combine that with the promo Agumon, that's an extra 4,000 power. That's pretty gosh darn high. I could see this being played in a Greymon deck, both of them. And I could see this being played in an Omegamon deck. But then again, are there Greymon decks out there that don't end up as Omegamon at the end? Maybe. I think these are both solid 4 WotC cards. I'm not scoring them above 4 WotC because they're so hyper-specific. They're not just red, they're the specific cards. And I do think that either of them you could look at and go, yes, they're amazing. But, you know, looking at Greymon, the one from the starter deck gives you security attack +1. And I could see a strong argument for why you would want security attack +1 rather than the extra 2,000 power. So I like them. I think they're good cards. I think they're going to see a bunch of play. But I could still see arguments for both of them being eschewed for other cards. So 4 WotC sounds a bit fair. But I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching C Plays. Come back for daily reveals. Yay!